Which battle do you wish to reflect on?
Let's earn our keep.
Striking swiftly is our best chance.
Stay strong. We can win this. You got my back?
I will guard your back.
Everyone, advance! Everyone, advance! You shall pay for this, you hear? Sorry, we weren't strong enough.
You are mine! Position secure. This place is becoming ours. Swapping in!
All we've got? Cover you!
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back.
You shall pay for this, you hear?
Time to make a name for ourselves. Time to get going.
And swapping in!
Can't let it end like this.
I have gratitude. Assistance, please.
You got it. Let's carve a swath through the battlefield.
Is it my turn?
I'll give it an honest attempt.
This victory is for Bridget.
Impressive. My situation has taken a turn for the worse.
Use this stronghold well.
Turn.
Swapping in.
How can I face my comrades after this? None shall surpass me. Let us stand together.
That's it, perhaps.
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back. None shall surpass me. Retreat! You called? My turn. We're done for. The rest is up to you.
Stand down.
done for. The rest is up to you. How can I face my comrades after this? Not too easy.
I'm sorry, but we will be taking this land.
Thank you for your protection, Flame Spirit. Witness Bridget Pride. No matter what.
ライダー変身。
ライダー2号を忘れていたな。悪は全て倒す。それが私の使命だ。俺は俺の道を行く。邪魔するな。
ライダー行くぞ。ライダー
ライダー
ライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーライダーラ ライダーチャオ
さすがの実力だな。
ライダーライダー
ライダー返し。
ライダーライダーキックライダーフライングチョップ
Got the OG right here. The grandpas. Fucking goats right here, man. The goats. The OGs. Got Hongo and Ichimonji back kicking ass again after 50 years. Hello, guys. Got the OGs right here, man. Takeshi Hongo and Hayato Ichimonji.
おとなしく退散したまえライダーライダーガイでも倒してやるライダーライダーチャップ
Raida jump.
ライダーキック
Oh. Yeah, he's like 75 now. He's like really old. He came back in the movie like 2 years ago. Yes. Screw kick. Oria.
ライダー。お前の力が必要だ。
行くぞ俺だけ手がこよう仮面ライダーは負けん
私の勝利は揺るがない。
ライダースクリューキック行くぞ
行くぞ。
そんな
行くぞどうだライダーライダースクリューキックライダースクリューキック行くぞライダーパンチ
This fucking game, man. It's just the best shit. Cyclone. Yes. I didn't mean to do that, but it's still cool.
俺も負けてられない。
行くぞ。
ライダーキックここを通すわけにはいかんおとなしく退散したまえ
Alright, Kagami, you're getting your ass beat. cast off ain't gonna do shit.
このくらいのピンチ大したことないぞ
Kagami Arata. Hey, they're cyborgs, okay? It's not their fault that costume design was not very good back in the 70s. They're cyborgs, alright? Not their fault there. Yes! Not their fault they're stuck in the poverty era of special effects. It's not spandex. No insulting the grandpas around here, alright? You don't insult the grandpas. They fought for us. This is like one of the few Musou games where characters that focus on grabs, like, don't suck balls. Like pretty much every Koei game. Characters that focus on grabs usually really suck in these games, but like the grabs actually work. They managed to fix a age-old problem.
俺は負けない
This is Kamen Rider Bat Ride War Genesis.
仮面ライダーは絶対に死なん。
Well, I mean, these guys survived. They survived a nuke in their show. They survive a nuclear explosion and they come out unscathed. They're OP. It's just they're from like 1971, so obviously they couldn't really convey it. But yeah, these guys survived a nuke back in their day. They survived some pretty insane stuff. So it's cool to actually have them playable in a game where, you know, the special effects and the stuff that they can do is like more aligned with how they were written. They're like overpowered. They're like incredibly busted, but you know, being a cheap-ass show from the 70s, they couldn't really show it as much as they liked. So it's really cool that they put the Showa riders in here. I don't like when people call this a kids game, because there's like no reason to bring these guys back. The popular ones for kids are going to be everything from probably Kuga down to Ghost would be the ones that would get kids to play. But they didn't have to put the Showa Riders in here. I guess they just kind of did it because they was. This was an anniversary game. This was for what the. Let's see here. 45th anniversary. This was for the 45th anniversary, so I guess they put them in here just to celebrate. But yeah, it was kind of random. I remember when they announced it, I'm like, are they really going to put them in? I mean, like, what is the point of putting them in? They're not really relevant anymore, at least for kids, but... also, he was in a movie with Ghost. He came back for the 45th anniversary, so... I guess they were doing cross-promotion of sorts. Yeah. The Showa Riders are actually really fun to play in this game, because they're more like Basara characters, because they don't really have a lot of forms. They're mostly built around just having, you know, like, they have, like, more fun movesets, because they don't have to make, like, 800 forms for them. Let's see how I want to play as next. You know, I haven't ever tried Stronger before. Let's back out. Maybe level him up a little bit. See if I like him. Stronger is probably the goofiest looking Showa Rider. He doesn't really look cool at all. Yeah, I haven't tried X. I haven't tried Stronger. I tried Amazon. He's pretty cool. Super 1 is my favorite. I like Skyrider as well, but he's like almost maxed out, so... Let's try Stronger and then give him like Meteor or something. Let's see. See if I like what he's got before I level him up. And yes, this is the guy in my profile picture. If you're wondering where he's from, he's playable in this game. He's like the most combo-centric character. Yes! Best shit is the Rider Kick. I actually haven't seen much of Kuga, but Kuga was definitely... I don't think it was really aiming for kids as much. Some really dark stuff happens in Kuga, and now it's like a lot more sanitized. It's also way more toyetic as well. People have been complaining about the new season that just started a couple months ago. It's like super toyetic, even for Kamen Rider standards. I follow somebody on Twitter who posts the clips, and like, he has like a new form like every week. It never used to be that bad. He has like a dozen forms already, and they're like barely 10 episodes in. They're not being very, not being very vague about their goals, their motives. It's like super toyetic. Like, dude, how many forms does this guy have? It's been like not even a dozen episodes yet. He has like 50 15 forms. Forms had a lot more impact when there were less of them. But, you know, the show is only on for like a year. The seasons are only on for a year, so the more forms that they throw in like that, the less relevant they are, because there's just not enough time. They don't have the benefit of Mighty Morphin, where they had like 3 seasons and like 150 episodes or whatever. They have like 51 episodes at most. Usually it's less than that. But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of complaints about Gotchard. I watched the first episode. It didn't really grab me. But yeah, he has like 20 forms already. The show's not even a quarter of the way through. It has an insane amount of forms. All that means is that they'll get forgotten later on. They'll just like not ever use them again. It's pretty the forum spam started around here, double. Heisei Phase 2. They started to get like way more toyetic with it, having like way too many forms. So pretty much everything else that's in this game past double is when it started getting like super toyetic, have like 20 forms and like maybe like 4 of them are relevant. A lot of them show up like twice and never again. It's like, look, we put it in the show. You put it in the show, okay? Now go buy the toy. Go ask your mom for the toy. They just have like no relevance anymore. Kakatte koi. Well, yeah, the Heisei Phase 1 stuff is, like, way less toyetic. It's still a toyetic franchise, but, like, it wasn't to the level that it is now, where...
Okay.
If you've been watching for a while, you just know... Been watching for a while, you just know that the forms are not going to be relevant for long. Yeah, Kuga is the way it is because Kamen Rider was basically not relevant, was not present at all in the 90s. There was no Kamen Rider show. The last one was Black RX, and they did like a lot of games, like the Great Battle series, and they did the 3 movies. But that was like the first Kamen Rider show in a decade, so I think that maybe they were trying to go for like an older audience. But then they realized that the money is in, you know, making it toyetic like Dragon Ball and having pointless forms and stuff. Spamming the forms like crazy. That's what they figured out made the money. So when Heisei Phase 2 happened is when it got like super toyetic. I think Gotchard is like the worst I've seen though. I've only watched the first episode and it's like insane how toyetic it is. It's always been like, you know, they have to you always have to write around the toys, of course, but it used to give it more time to breathe. Now it's like every week there's a new form. I actually don't know how many forms Gotchard has. It's got to be at least a dozen now, and they're only like a dozen episodes in. So almost every episode he has another form. No, Kuga is Heisei Phase 1. Kuga is Heisei Phase 1. So yeah, there's still a lot of toys, but not an overwhelming amount. And the toy introductions feel more impactful because there's not so many of them. The guy in my avatar, the profile picture who's in my party in the back there, he only had 2 forms. He had that one, and then he had the upgrade form, and that was all he had. Like, ever since then, even, like, the second riders will have, like, 3 or 4 forms. I think what makes it worse is when they kit bash the forms. Because the secondary riders don't sell as much as the protagonists, so they often cheap out with their forms, and they look, like, really bad. Kit bashing is like a tokusatsu term from when they take parts of old suits and they like Frankenstein them together to make a different form, because it generally happens at the end of the series when like a secondary rider will get a new form. Like, yeah, the guy in my profile picture, he only has 2 forms. Even the main character in that series, he didn't have anywhere near as many forms as what they have now. And he definitely still had the same problem of, like, this form gets used twice. It gets used, like, you know, less than 5 times. And then it's never seen again. Unless it's in, like a movie or a crossover or something, then they pull it out again, but... I mean, the toys have to be there to keep the show going, because it's essentially a year-long toy commercial that just happens to have really sick fight scenes, and occasionally it has good stories as well, but I definitely think that it didn't used to be as toyetic as it is now. The new season is like the epitome of toyetic. Like... He doesn't need, like, a dozen forms before, you know, the show's even been on for a few months. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the season that's currently airing. They, like, actively hate it. They actively hate the season. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't look that great, I'll be honest. It doesn't look that great. And the amount of toy spam is pretty excessive, but... I don't know. I haven't watched it myself. I watched the first episode because they fucked up and they had it region-free for like a couple hours. And I was working at my neighbor's house and people were like, hey, they have the first episode for free on YouTube and it's region-free. So that's the only one I bothered watching. And I was like, man, I'm just like not feeling this at all. I'm not gonna go bother to look up the rest. you generally have to give tokusatsu seasons or shows like at least a couple episodes. Because generally at the beginning, I mean, that goes for like anything, right? You have to give it a couple episodes. They have to introduce you to the characters and the world building and set all that stuff up, but then like with tokusatsu, it's worse. With tokusatsu, it's worse because a lot of time is going to be spent really spamming the toy introductions, and it's going to take up a lot of time. So, generally, the story and the whole vibe of the show, you have to give it a little bit more time than I think non-tokusatsu stuff. Because there's going to be a lot of toy spam. I think Ultraman really... I haven't watched Ultraman in a long time, but Ultraman definitely benefits from not having to be on all year. Ultraman is like 25 episodes, so it's only on for half of the year. Not a full year. So like the special effects and the fight scenes are better. Well, I mean, every kid show is toyetic. It's always been that way. It's just tokusatsu, modern tokusatsu, found a way to monetize it, like, even more. If they made Mighty Morphin Power Rangers today, they would have, like, 30 forms by the 30th episode. Have, like, 24 forms. But they managed to sell a lot of toys of the exact same form. They really only started doing forms for Mighty Morphin towards the end of its run. With the metallic armor, which is basically just them covered in glitter. That was their idea of a new form. It's pretty funny in retrospect. Now they've got formula. They know how to toy spam. It's just it also comes at the expensive story pacing. I think that's why people really complain about how toyetic Kamen Rider has gotten. Just because they make a big deal out of these forms. It's supposed to be like a Goku Super Saiyan level upgrade, but then it gets put out the pasture like 6 episodes later. It's just hard to care. I totally understand why people don't like it, but it could be worse. Yeah, they did a form for they did a form for the Power Rangers, like, but it started getting less popular. They called it metallic armor. Metallic armor. It's just they just covered the suits in like glitter, some kind of glittery material. That was their idea of a new form. They finally realized that they weren't taking advantage of the formula and having a lot of forms. You would say metallic armor power up. What's up, Alvi? Hello. Super Sentai definitely does the power scaling a lot better than Kamen Rider. Generally, they don't spam as many forms. Super Sentai spams the mecha, the Zords instead. That's like their main moneymaker, I think. But yeah, when they're on foot fighting, they don't have like 300 forms. They generally keep it so when they get a new toy upgrade, it's like actually at least somewhat impactful instead of, you know, if you like stop watching for a month. You stop watching for a month and they come back with a different form. Power Rangers had different challenges, mostly having to adapt to the Sentai footage was hard. Power Rangers Turbo had the challenge of trying to make something serious out of a season that was basically just lampshading the tokusatsu genre as a whole. Which is not an easy task. I think they did a decent job, considering what they were given, but they're taking something that was meant to be a parody and trying to make like your standard semi-serious series out of it. It's pretty much a mess. And the season after that, they turned the series about high school and video games, like computers and stuff. They turned it into Star Trek for kids. And they did that with the next season as well, because that was like... Gingaman was like based on nature, but they turned it into Star Trek for kids. Like it doesn't match up at all. A completely different thing. That's why the aliens that come from the other planet in Power Rangers are just ninjas. It doesn't make sense for them to be ninjas, right? But the series that was airing in Japan was about ninjas, so you have these fish people that turn into ninjas, which makes absolutely no sense. There's nothing logical about that at all, but that's just how those were the challenges they had. Trying to keep a continuous story going with the source material has nothing in common at all. You think they would be like more alien-like, like Star Trek kind of aliens, but they just turn into ninjas, which makes no sense. I really think Power Rangers got a lot less interesting when they stopped trying to do unique stuff with it. When they started just copying the Super Sentai, like, one-to-one, it got a lot less interesting. And you can see why they went that direction, because it just got less and less feasible to try to do original stuff when, you know, half the show is made by people in Japan that you never meet. Yeah, around that era is when they started copying the Super Sentai or verbatim. It's like the same thing with different actors. Apparently they're rebooting Power Rangers and they're not gonna use Super Sentai anymore, which, as somebody who grew up with it as a kid, that makes like absolutely no sense to me. You have a good thing going. You have people in Japan you'll never meet making half of this TV show for you. Like, why don't you keep that relationship going? I don't understand the reasoning behind. Yeah, we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to save money by having half the show be made in the other side of the planet. I don't understand what they're doing. Very weird to me. It's like telling RGG Studio to stop recycling assets. It's like, why? There's only so many ways you can kick somebody in the knee. Or like suplex somebody. Like, just use the same animation. Game just, with this character, once you get a build going, it just sounds like you're making like bags and bags of microwave popcorn. It doesn't sound like you're punching stuff. It's like you're at the movie theater and they put like a big thing of kernels in the popper. Listen to this. Tab out on my stream and what does it sound like? It sounds like I'm just making like a crazy amount of popcorn instead of playing a beat 'em up horde survival game. Damn, I had 135% attack speed. That's a new record. Attack speed is the way to my heart. Just stack as much attack speed as possible. This guy is like the best character. The martial artist is so busted in this game. Because he like actually does a lot of damage. He also has a shield. He can pretty much just keep up all the time. And then once you summon the Bunshins, if you get the thing that makes it so the Bunshins add to your combo count, you get all the combo procs and buffs, like, constantly. This guy, the main guy, is pretty fun to play, but he's, like, really squishy, so I mostly just like playing as him. This game is called Skybreakers. Let me go ahead and put a link in the chat. Fun little game. It's just begging for a endless mode, though. Stack like 300% attack speed. It's like punch a billion times. I would be really happy with that. They said it's coming soon. Yeah, it's like only $8. I think it's worth $8. Have any of... I'm gonna go, but have any of you played Atlas Fallen? Because that game is on sale for $25 right now, and it looks up my alley. But by any chance, have you guys played that game? I know a lot of people have been hating on it because they expect everything to be quadruple A quality. Yeah, it looks like something I might enjoy. I'm kind of on the fence because I don't have a lot of money right now, but it might not be that cheap again for a while. It's okay, like... Really? Huh. Yeah, I've kind of got it in my cart right now. I was just hoping that maybe somebody from my community had played it, because I definitely did not, I did not cover it. They didn't have a demo, so I was kind of like on the fence, because Western-developed melee combat games are usually hot ass, generally. Unless they're indie. If it's a melee combat game with a mid to large size budget, I'm like very, very skeptical. Especially because of how expensive they are and my low income. But yeah, somebody else in my community said I might like it, so I'm debating getting it. I'm debating getting it, but yeah, I didn't play it or anything. Yeah, I just finished Star Ocean. I just finished Star Ocean 6. That's been... Actually, I've been playing a lot of Star Ocean this month. I finished 2 Star Ocean games this month. so I'm kind of like not wanting to do another super long game. I just did 2 JRPGs, so I have Lost Judgment with mods, but I haven't really gotten that far into it yet. A bunch of other games I play have gotten updates, so I gotta check on those as well, but yeah, $25 seems decent. It's on sale right now. It's on Green Man Gaming for 25 bucks. It's just you can't refund if you buy it from there, so it's got a little bit more finality. Because there's definitely been games I played that I bought on Steam and I didn't like them, so I refunded them, and they never really ended up on the channel. But yeah, if I buy it from there, I can't refund it. And I'm like not really... I don't have a lot of income. Yeah, it's also got like the East Flash Guard as well, which I actually really like. The Flash Guard mechanic. You think I would like it? Alright. Well, it's not going to be this stream because it'll probably take like 20 minutes to download. I have fast internet, but I don't want to just be streaming nothing, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and probably kill the stream now, and I'll give that game a shot. I'll take your word for it. You owe me a pizza if I don't like it. I'm just kidding. You don't have to donate. I'm not soliciting donations out of you, but I trust your opinion. I trust your opinion. I will give it a shot. So I guess I'll just buy that now, and I might come back in a little bit. I'll see how it runs and if I like it. There's somebody else in my community. He actually really enjoyed it. He said it was unfairly shat on just because it wasn't AAA production values, which I think is such a toxic thing. Such a toxic thing in games now is like if the game doesn't have like a $70 million marketing budget, or it doesn't have like, you can't see the hairs on Spider-Man's costume. You can't see the hairs on his armpit, you know, it's bad. It's like, man, you guys are more shallow than most people on dating sites. Like, just because it's not, you know, massive budget doesn't mean that it's automatically bad. I'm like, dude, Spider-Man 2 has 0 replay value. It's a good game, but it's missing stuff that I've played on here that was made with like 1% of the budget. You can't replay anything. There's no New Game Plus. I'm like, yeah, it's still a good game. It's not a bad game at all, but it's missing stuff that I've had at launch in other games day one. And you don't have to wait 6 months for shit that should have been in the game from the start. Yeah, it's like the biggest complaint about not Star Ocean, but Spider-Man 2 is... It's like it's a really good game, but it's just missing stuff that you expect to be there, because, like I just said, I've played games on here, this channel, that no one cares about, like Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, Dust Diver 2. Those games have amazing New Game Plus modes at launch. None of this waiting 6 months, like, at launch. And you're telling me this game that's probably cost like $300 million to make, they make you wait for it. I'm like, cool. Thanks for adding this 6 months later when I'm like not playing the game anymore. It's uninstalled. It's uninstalled or traded in or sold to a friend, or you flip it on Craigslist. Toss it to GameStop for $3. Like, cool, thanks, I guess. Yeah, I know that they took out the suit powers, but I actually haven't played any of those games. I have the first two, but I just don't really have a lot of hard drive space right now. So if I put that back on my hard drive, I gotta like actually commit to it. Spider-Man 2 just seems like it has a lot of content until it doesn't. Like, when you beat the game, there's nothing left to do. They went too far in on making it review proof and not actually making it have meaningful content, like replay value. Because it's going to get, like, Game of the Year, right? It's going to win a ton of awards. It's already probably made its money back, but they went too far in on making it review proof and making it so you can just roll the credits and not have to, like, worry too hard or fight too hard with it or anything. But then, like, once you get past that point, there's just nothing. Which is sad. It used to be you could expect a New Game Plus at launch. You know, if you beat the game that same weekend, you could expect a New Game Plus or at least some kind of endgame content outside of just trophies and stuff. But now it's such a crapshoot. The bigger the game is, the less chance it has. Resident Evil 4 Remake did the same thing. They didn't have Ada's campaign. They didn't have Ada's campaign. You had to wait like months for that. I'm like, okay, well, it's not actually a full remake, is it? It's still an amazing game. I don't want to sound like I'm crapping on popular games because I mostly don't play them. But yeah, that kind of bothered me. Like, why don't you have the Ada campaign at launch? Because it was like the biggest thing that a lot of people wanted because the game was GameCube exclusive originally. Like, nope, you gotta wait. You gotta wait for that. But at least RE4 Remake had New Game Plus. So that makes it better than a lot of the Sony-funded stuff. Like, God of War Ragnarok did the same thing. New Game Plus 6 months later. I think they want... The reason they do that now is because it gives the game a second wind in sales, so they make more money. And like a New Game Plus doesn't take that much effort. You can already pretty much simulate New Game Plus in almost any game that doesn't have it. If you're on PC, you can just cheat like infinite money or give yourself all the moves and stuff. The second game is immensely better. The first game I couldn't finish. The second game is really good. I did an overview for that game. I did a couple videos for it. I also streamed, I think both playthroughs of that game actually. So if you dig deep enough, that should have been last year. Last year I played that game. I did the New Game and New Game Plus playthrough. I did most of it on stream, but I also did a overview. I did a couple, I think, boss videos as well, if I remember correctly. The second game is really solid. That was like one of my sleeper hits of last year. It got like no buzz, but it was a really good game. I actively enjoyed it a lot. It's kind of like budget Yakuza game with like character action combat. So if you don't like Yakuza combat, but you like that kind of thing where you have like a small city, a couple hubs, and there's like lots of things to do, and there's like above average combat. Yeah, I recommend that game. I think the problem is the PC version like never goes on sale. So I know that game's on sale a lot on console, so I recommend getting probably the PS5 version. The PC version, the only benefit to it is you can unlock the frame rates. The game has a native cap of 60 FPS. But if you use Unreal Engine 4 Unlocker, I played the whole game at 144 FPS. It felt really good. I would not recommend the Switch port. A Switch port is 30 FPS. Go for the PS5. I don't know if you have one, but the PS5 version should be 60 FPS locked. I wouldn't know. I don't have it on console. The Switch version is 30 FPS, and the combat's good enough. You're going to want 60. But yeah. I highly recommend that game. It was a sleeper hit. I really enjoyed it. I still have it installed, actually. I think I still have it installed. Yeah, it's right here. Anyway, I'm going to go buy Atlas Fallen and install it, and then maybe I'll come back in a little bit, but no promises. I had a very difficult day. yesterday. I got scammed by a repair shop here. And I spent a ridiculous amount of money on transportation for them to sit in the back and jack off and not fucking fix my Steam Deck. So I had like multiple breakdowns last night, so I kind of want to take it easy. But if Atlas Fallen passes the test, I'll come back. You're gonna donate, really? Alright. Here. You don't have to, but there's the link. I'll wait for you, and then I'm gonna go. Should be in the chat. Is it not there? Is the link there? I'm waiting for a response. Did you get it? I'm not quite sure. I don't want to leave you hanging because you're wanting to support me. But yeah, it's in the... I just posted it. Oh, wow, thank you. Thanks for paying, like 90% of Atlas. Oh, here, I'll prove that I'm gonna buy it right now, and then I'm gonna go. Give me a sec. That was very nice of you, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Greatly appreciated. I'm buying it right now. I just can't show it because, you know, debit card and everything. Yeah, I'm buying it right now. So the game's only going to cost $10. I dig it. Loading it up right now. Alright, here you go. Here's your proof. I have the receipts. I have the receipts right here. Give me a sec. Purchase the video game. Hold on. There it is right there. Thank you so much, brother. I'll install it and see if it runs well and everything, and if I don't like it or it doesn't work, then he took the load off. He took the financial burden off. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. I might come back later tonight, but no promises. It's more likely I'll probably come back after I have lunch. But we'll see. Good night, everybody. Just didn't want you to think I was gonna spend it on like crystal meth or something. You know, most of what I spend ends up back in the channel. If it doesn't go back into the channel, it's like always my survival. You know, I spend it on food or whatever. But yeah, there you go. It didn't get spent on like a Dynasty Warriors bong or something. It's right there. You got the receipts. I didn't spend it on meth. There you go. I'll see you later.